You're watching WKYT News at noon.
Good afternoon. The news continues as we approach 12:30. Bill Bryan and Barbara Bailey here for WKYT, and we are continuing to investigate this horrible story, tragic situation over in Clark County today.
It's just terribly sad. 3 people have died after an early morning apartment fire. That fire happened at the B&P Apartments on Spring Mist Lane. Several other people were seriously injured in the fire as well. WKYT's Mark Barber is live at the scene with our top story at 12:30. Mark.
Good afternoon, Barbara. The entire community here is really reeling from this tragedy. Firefighters say it has been at least 10 years since there has been a fatal fire in Winchester. And now the coroner today is not just trying to reach one family, but 3 to tell them that their loved ones are gone. Now, it was an extremely horrifying morning for many people inside the burning building as they tried to fight their way through the flames and the smoke to make their way out to safety. Several people who were trapped up on the 2nd floor jumped, breaking their arms or legs in the fall. The devastating fire started around 1:30 this morning in an apartment on Spring Mist Lane. From there, the flames spread to 9 other apartments. While the fire is out, the pain is not over for 6 people who are still in the hospital. While firefighters do not have specifics about their injuries, we're told several of them are in critical condition. We are waiting to release the names of 2 of the people who died because the coroner is still trying to find their families. However, this afternoon, the grandmother of one of the victims tells us that her family has learned the heartbreaking news that her grandson, 36-year-old Donald Heisel, died in the fire. We spoke with a neighbor who lost a close friend in those flames. He says he did everything he could to try and save his neighbors who were trapped inside.
We jumped out here, got the kids out of there, and I started banging on doors and windows and doing whatever I could to get everybody out.
He and many other neighbors tell me they think that this devastating fire started because one of their neighbors was smoking next to an oxygen tank. Investigators tell me that is something that they are looking into, but they will probably not determine the cause for this fire until later this afternoon. That's the latest here in Winchester. I'm Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. And for now, about 20 people lived in the burned apartment building. The Red Cross is giving them a place to stay at the Best Western on West Lexington Avenue.
And we'll keep you informed on air and online on that story. A major development today in a high-profile Lexington murder case. The death penalty has been removed from Mark Taylor's trial. He is accused of kidnapping and killing Alex Johnson in December of 2013. WKYT's Mike Beyer now has the information on this morning's hearing, and here's the story.
Mark Taylor showed no emotion after a Fayette County judge took the death penalty off the table. Even though the death penalty was removed from the case during this morning's hearing, if found guilty, Taylor could still face up to 20 years to life with upwards to 50 years in prison. Timothy Ballard joined Taylor this morning. Ballard is accused of helping Taylor lure Alex Johnson into a car back in December of 2013. Investigators say Taylor then beat Johnson to death and dumped his body in the Kentucky River. Johnson's body was found about a month later in a blue barrel near a restaurant off Old Richmond Road. According to those who know Taylor, he used to work at a restaurant that was near the search scene. Now Taylor is charged with murder and kidnapping, while Ballard is charged with kidnapping and evidence tampering. Their trial is now set for June 6th. In Lexington, Mike Beyer, WKYT.
And Taylor's attorney says she expects that trial to last about 2 weeks or so. For the second time in 4 years, a Lexington man will be sentenced for killing his wife. This time it will be for manslaughter. Donald Southworth was originally convicted of murder in the 2012 beating death of his wife, Umi. The state Supreme Court overturned his conviction. Last month, he entered an offered plea to manslaughter. A Fayette Circuit judge will sentence Southworth in about 30 minutes. Prosecutors have recommended a 15-year sentence.
We're getting a look inside a Lexington liquor store today where a dramatic scene played out earlier this week. A man being chased by police ran into the corner liquor store late Wednesday night. 2 employees were inside at the time. One jumped out a window, the other hid in the cooler. In surveillance video given to us by the store's owner, you can see Timothy Caldwell hold a gun to his head. Police eventually arrested Caldwell. We'll have much more on this story later today on WKYT. Well, charges have now been filed against a man accused of shooting a Kentucky sheriff's deputy. State police charged Ben Wyatt this morning after he got out of the hospital with attempted murder of a police officer. State police say Deputy Eddie Lawson went to serve Wyatt a warrant when Wyatt shot the deputy twice. Lawson returned fire and hit Wyatt in the arm. Police say Wyatt then ran to a nearby field where he hid for about 45 minutes before being arrested. Deputy Lawson was taken to a hospital in Nashville. We do not have an update on his condition.
More help today for the family of a Jessamine County paramedic who was killed in the line of duty. The Nicholasville Firefighters Association has donated $750 this morning to John Mackey's family. He died last November after he was hit by a car. The money was raised for a raffle. Firefighters say the fundraiser was a way to raise public awareness to the John Mackey bill.
EMS receives no death benefit. This bill that's on the floor will give EMS workers a death benefit just as it would the firefighters as if they're killed in line of duty.
The John Mackey bill will be presented to the Senate committee in Frankfort next Wednesday. And there's been a quick response after a call for help about a disabled dog. Yesterday we told you about Shay, a Labrador mix, who had to have both of her front legs amputated after she was hit by a car. The Menifee County Animal Shelter was asking for donations to help with her, as well as a dog wheelchair and the surgeries and bills that she's undergone. They needed $1,300, and they raised that in a matter of hours after our story aired. The doggy wheelchair will be specifically designed by a company out of Massachusetts.
A lot of people have big hearts for animals, certainly, and it is really good to see that.
Shay's a sweet dog, obviously. Well, March Madness officially gets underway tonight for the Kentucky Wildcats. UK
tips off SEC tournament play at 7 o'clock against Alabama, but many Cat fans have already invaded Nashville. WKYT's Jennifer Palumbo is live outside Bridgestone Arena, where Big Blue fans are already arriving. I'm sure they've been there a while, Jennifer.
That's right, Barb. It is a rainy afternoon here in Nashville, but that is not stopping fans from enjoying SEC Fanfare, which is going on behind me here on Broadway, while others are heading into Bridgestone Arena to watch the Texas A&M Florida game. And game day started early for UK fans here in Nashville. Thousands of them are expected to be here for the SEC tournament. It's a place they know and love. Hundreds came together at Tin Roof this morning to be part of Kentucky Sports Radio's live show. Host Matt Jones says he expects a lot of blue and white at tonight's UK game.
I think it'll be quite as big as last year, but it'll be one of the biggest we've had in Nashville. And I have my guess is tonight's game is probably going to have about 95% Kentucky fans, so it should be something else.
And it's a 7 o'clock tip tonight, Kentucky and Alabama. Kentucky has already beaten Alabama twice in the regular season. They're going to try to beat them a third time coming up tonight. And back here outside Bridgestone Arena, there's a lot of wheeling and dealing going on behind me. UK fans are trying to get tickets to tonight's game. Bridgestone Arena is actually smaller than Rupp Arena, with tens of thousands of fans expected here. A lot of them won't be able to get tickets and will have to be watching up in the bars and restaurants here on Broadway right now. Tickets to tonight's game, Low Arena, going for about $200 here on the street. Live in Nashville, I'm Jennifer Palumbo. Bill and Barb, back to you.
All right, thank you. UK has won the SEC tournament 29 times, more than any other school combined.
There'll be nothing quiet about that scene tonight, right? Researchers say they could be closer to producing a Zika vaccine.
Also, how exercise can help in the fight against Alzheimer's. Those stories coming up in Better Living.
We have the clouds overhead, but no real rain chance for today. What about tomorrow and off into your Sunday? Your weekend will have the rain chances. I'm going to go over that and show you if it's a lot or if it's just very little. Coming up next.
Today, okay, now what do I do?
Well, you just have to look beautiful, what you're already doing.
Latin foods you love.
You're doing great. I'm going to have you over to my house.
This job. Plus, Amanda P. The Talk.
We'll move over to this other dish.
Are you two-timing me with Julie?
Yes, I am.
On CBS.
Oh, dunk hits him again. Money right to the red. Oh, my gosh.
The madness is coming.
I've heard the horror stories about other people's experiences with attorneys. And to prevent other people from having those experiences, I would go to Becker, because you're not going to experience a horror story with Becker. They don't worry about what they get, they worry about what you get. It's that simple.
Serious, experienced, results. Call the Becker Law Office. Just dial 3s.
Unclaimed freight notice this weekend at American Freight. Over 1,000 truckloads of living room furniture. 7-piece living room groups that include a sofa, love seat, coffee table, 2 end tables, and 2 designer lamps. You get all 7 pieces from only $398 complete. Free layaway till tax refund. Same-day delivery. Come to the loading docks this weekend only at American Freight in Lexington, 272 West New Circle Road, next to Walmart, across from Jalapenos. Phone 226-0008.
Lexington Overstock Warehouse is open this weekend to the public, so don't pay store prices. Get quality furniture and mattresses at incredibly low prices. All wood bedroom set $397, blended leather sofa $297. Go to LexingtonOverstockWarehouse.com for more details.
When you play Kentucky lottery games like Pick 3 and Pick 4, you help Kentucky college students pick up scholarship money,
Fueling imagination,
funding education.
Are you tired of juggling your finances and can't afford those remodeling projects?
Surplus Sales has a huge selection of carpet at unbeatable prices.
Come on down to Surplus Sales for some great deals.
Monday, March 21st.
My life is a pile of garbage and turds.
Listen up, honey. Get set for one wild trip.
We are the Dream Girls.
Amber Riley and Ricky Lake guest star. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. All new episode Monday, March 21st on the CW.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 98.1 The Bull. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It's a rather cloudy day out and about, and no rain chance the rest of the day. So things look just fine in terms of just trying to stay dry out there. Temperatures are in the 50s. We'll finish off upper 50s, lower 60s. We get some bits and pieces of sunshine here and there, which is going to be hard pressed to do. But if we do, you will be there in the low 60s. If you don't, it looks like you may even stay in the upper 50s. But all in all, that's still a good feel. We've been kind of spoiled the past few days there with the 50s, 60s, 70s. So these 50s are kind of, they're not as nice as the past several days. But you know what? We have even colder temperatures later in the forecast. I'm going to show you that coming up. Let's talk hour by hour what's going on tomorrow. So you know the rest of the day is good. What about tomorrow, okay? So a lot of things going on early in the morning. You have St. Patty's Day festivities going on, starting off early in the morning, right around 8 a.m. downtown. You have some races happening here in Lexington. We'll have the interviewee talk about that here in just the next 10 to 15 minutes. But, I mean, we have so many things happening. It's getting in that time of year. 7 a.m., this is your look, okay? But remember, before that, this is all moving northbound, so it's coming out of Tennessee. So you guys southbound before 7 a.m. will have this first. Then it moves northbound, but I just wanted to stop it there at 7 a.m. and show you where it was located. 7, 8 a.m. is when things really get going for some of these races, at least get started. So here's what we're going to be looking at 10 a.m. Most of that's your warm front, right? Moves north, and now you're going to start to see these temperatures really jump. But it's not going to be fully dry. You'll still have bits and pieces of a passing shower or thunderstorm. Hear me right, bits and pieces of passing showers or thunderstorms. This isn't widespread. This isn't just absolutely a washout there for Saturday. So you will be able to get some of these events in. And then here comes a passing shower thunderstorm with temperatures there in the 70s when it's all said and done. It'll be a really nice feeling day. I would say stay with what you have going on. And then you look towards Sunday. Yeah, it looks pretty widespread on Sunday. Sunday's going to be your best chance of rain in the forecast, so just keep that in mind as we continue to go off towards your weekend. Sunday's the best chance of rain, so is Monday. Then we hit toward next week, 44 degrees next Thursday, guys. Enjoy the 60s and 70s while they last. But like I said, keep with your plans on Saturday, passing shower storm. The heaviest rain comes on Sunday.
And set your clock ahead.
Set your clock ahead.
All right.
Let's forget about that.
All right, a simple way to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and an update on the Zika virus.
Brooke Silva Braga has some of the day's top health stories in this Better Living report.
U.S. health officials say a Zika vaccine could be ready for initial testing this fall. The mosquito-borne virus is hitting Puerto Rico hard, with concern thousands of pregnant women could be infected this year. Zika has been linked to microcephaly, a birth defect that leaves newborns with abnormally small heads and developmental delays. Just about any physical activity can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. That's according to researchers at UCLA and the University of Pittsburgh, who found aerobic activities like walking, dancing, even gardening can improve brain volume and reduce the chances of developing Alzheimer's by up to 50%. And a long-term study in Australia shows mothers who smoke may increase the risk of their children developing lung disease as adults. Researchers say the risk is even greater for children who are exposed to maternal cigarette smoke and then take up smoking themselves later in life. That's a look at some of the day's top health stories. Brooke Silva Braga for CBS News, New York.
Coming up next on WKYT, honoring a Richmond police officer who lost his life in the line of duty.
How you can be part of the Daniel Ellis Memorial 5K next on WKYT.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For almost 30 years, we've represented hundreds of thousands of people and have collected billions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. It has been quite a journey. Automobile accidents and injuries on the job, dangerous drugs and medical devices, tobacco verdicts, the failure to make payments for business and homeowners' losses. If you ever need us, we're here for you. And remember, together, we travel this journey to justice. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
I'm Alex Trebek. If you're age 50 to 85, I have an important message about security. Write down the number on your screen so you can call when I finish. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. This is a lock for your life insurance, a rate lock that guarantees your rate can never go up at any time for any reason. But be careful. Many policies you see do not have one. But you can get a lifetime rate lock through the Colonial Penn program. Call this number to learn more. This plan was designed with a rate lock for people on a fixed income who want affordable life insurance that's simple to get. Coverage options for just $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day. Act now, and your rate will be locked in for life. It will never increase. Guaranteed. This is lifelong coverage that can never be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Guaranteed. And your acceptance is guaranteed, with no health questions. You cannot be turned down because of your health. Call for your information kit and read about this rate lock for yourself. You'll also get a free gift with great information. Both are free, with no obligation. Don't miss out. Call for information, then decide. Read about the 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. Don't wait. Call this number now.
Call 1-800-440-4200 for your free information and a free gift. There's no obligation. That's 1-800-440-4200. Or visit us online at colonialpenn.com. That number again is 1-800-440-4200. 1-800-440-4200. Call now.
What story do you want your furniture to tell? Sunday dinners or birthday parties?
The big game!
Sleepovers with Grandma?
An afternoon nap!
Start making your memories at Perry's American Furniture Gallery, 1176 Industry Road.
We're all for traditions, but sometimes you gotta throw something new in the smoker. Slow smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Get them as an appetizer or in a combo starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue, local pit masters since '68.
Welcome back in. It's good to have you with us on WKYT. Many will be lacing up their running shoes to help honor the life of Richmond Police Officer Daniel Ellis. A 5K is being held in Richmond to benefit the Fallen Officers Foundation.
We're happy to welcome Katie Ellis, the wife of Officer Daniel Ellis, along with Bob Bainey, race director, here to tell us more about it. We do thank you very much for coming in today.
Katie, the community has reached its arms around you in so many ways. This is another of those events, but there have been so many. And I know that has meant so much to you and your son.
Absolutely. The outpouring of love has just been unmeasurable. You know, the community has supported us. We don't go anywhere where we don't feel loved. This is just another event that we can all come together and celebrate Daniel's life and his legacy and, you know, keep his memory alive. He gave back to the community. He was a servant, and I just want to continue serving the community that's really been there for me.
Well, the community, people in the community always want to find those ways to be able to help. So I think this is certainly a great event, a great way to do that. Tell us about the race. How did it come together?
Well, it's just an outpouring of love and compassion for this great fallen hero of ours. It's March 19th. It'll be at 8:30 a.m. at Richmond Center Mall. And we already have 1,000 runners registered. We expect 1,500 or more.
That's great.
The community support has been amazing. Most everything has been donated, and lots of extra donations to the new foundation that's been formed.
Bob, I'm hearing the race is basically around that large shopping center, right? The parking area and so forth. It'll be an interesting little route there.
It will. It sure will. Yeah, we're going to make it work. We're fortunate to have the use of it, but we're going to go through the back, and we've got lots of volunteers, and it'll work out just fine.
And one of those volunteers is our own Sam Dick, who will be helping MC that race. I'm sure he's happy to be a part of it.
He's excited, absolutely.
And a race enthusiast, yeah.
Katie, tell us about the vision for your newly created foundation. What do you hope comes out of this?
Well, when we talked about, keeping Daniel's legacy alive, and, he was a servant, and, Richmond stepped up and really supported me. I'm not the only person that has lost someone, and, I want to be able to continue to support Richmond, Madison County in general. It's open-ended, really, continuing to do good for others, setting up scholarships, helping those in need. I just really want to give back.
Well, continue to good luck to you and again to your son, and we appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Wow, it sounds like you're off to a great start with the registration already.
Yeah,
Hope you'll keep it here now on WKYT. Will you be sporting your green this weekend?
Details about the St. Patrick's Day Parade and celebration after the break on WKYT.
Hello everyone, Amber Canoy here from momseveryday.com. Dr. Jessica Kress is talking with us today over at Commonwealth Smiles about pregnancy and oral health. So first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, when's the best time to really have dental work done?
Great question. The simple answer to that is second trimester. I want to back up a little bit and urge anybody trying to conceive to come into the dentist. We want to make sure that there's no problems before you get pregnant. Studies have shown, Amber, periodontal disease in pregnant women leads to low birth weight preterm babies. We know we don't want that. It's our job as the mom to do the right thing for our unborn baby. Come to the dentist, get checked out, you get your clean slate, and go to your OB for your appointments from there. But second trimester if you need any dental work, but please be seeing the dentist regularly through your pregnancy.
All right, great information. For more online, you can go to momseveryday.com.
Grab my lipstick.
Hey, what were you doing?
Getting the coats.
For a half hour?
Bob just got Time Warner Cable. He's getting more.
More what?
More than 30,000 movies and shows on demand, most for free. Look, he's DVRing like 6 shows at once.
Let's go.
Oh, this grass is so much greener than on our TV.
Why are your shoes off?
Because I'm on their bed. I don't want to be rude.
Discover how much more is included.
Are those meatballs still circulating?
Switch to Time Warner Cable today and ask how you could get a $300 reward card.
Life gets better the older you get, and time becomes more valuable. Time to spend with family, time to try new things, time to have fun. At Kroger, you can have your prescriptions filled while you shop, so it's easy to save money and time with your Kroger pharmacy. And you can get back to the things you love.
It's easy to manage all of your family's prescriptions all online. Order refills, view prescription history, and more. Visit Kroger.com/myprescriptions today.
Clients come into the office. The government has said, no, I don't believe you. You're not disabled.
The major problem with Social Security disability is that most people who sign up are denied at the initial level. If your claim's denied, don't give up. Call us immediately. We'll appeal your case.
We can do an effective job of representing you that will get you the benefits that you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast, 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
At Window World, you get the best price right up front.
Our windows feature the Good Housekeeping Seal
and come with a lifetime limited warranty.
Act now and get a house full of windows for as low as $79 a month installed.
Window World, simply the best for less.
It's this weekend, the monthly show at 8th and Schoolhouse Antiques this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's your chance to shop room after room of quality antiques and collectibles from over 70 dealers. This weekend at 8th and Schoolhouse Antiques on Richmond Road, a mile past I-75.
I'm WKYT's Rebecca Smith, and I stand for Kentucky.
Welcome back in. Great to have you along. And this Friday it is March Madness, but a lot of people will be thinking green this weekend as the St. Patrick's Day parade and celebration will be underway in Lexington Saturday, tomorrow.
With details, we're joined by Megan Maloney and Lisa Henley Betts with the Bluegrass Irish Society. Welcome. Glad to have you here and glad you have your green on,
It is
too.
fantastic to be here.
Well, great. This is a full day of events tomorrow. The big parade, of course, at 1 o'clock, but before that, it starts out with a race, right?
It actually starts at 8 o'clock in the morning with the Shamrock Shuffle. And then once the race is over, we're going to kick off our Irish Festival, which runs from 11 in the morning. Starts with the blessing of the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale keg. And then we've got a whole list of great entertainers and dancers and singers and pipe players. At 1 o'clock, the parade rolls down Main Street. So, and then the fun continues through the rest of the day.
Well, I know it takes a lot of planning. Lisa, tell us a little bit more about the festival and what people can experience.
So there's going to be fun for the whole family. There's going to be a tent with wonderful kids activities. We've got Thomas the train coming, so there'll even be a little train ride going on. If it rains, don't worry, because most of the vendors will be underneath the pavilion. So rain or shine, this will go on. And what's a little bit of rain on St. Patrick's Day?
You got
I mean, we're used to it, right?
That's
So
right.
It'll be fun for everybody.
You can still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right. Now, this is, of course, the kind of thing that people totally enjoy, but what is it that fascinates people so much, you think, about Irish culture?
Well, I think it's just really sort of the family atmosphere. It's the community atmosphere. This is the 37th year for this parade in Lexington. It's the longest running civic community event in central Kentucky. And so, we're just really looking forward to getting folks downtown. There's a number of events going on this weekend, from Disney on Ice to Comic-Con to everything that we've got going on with the parade, and festival and the run. So it's going to be a party.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Arrive early, prepare to stay late, and just have a great time with it.
Sounds good.
Exactly.
Well, what about the weather for all of that? That's what we're wondering about.
Let's
and see
find
how
out.
that cooperates. So here's Micah.
Yeah, and if you're outside, I believe you should be pretty good. And when I say pretty good, most of it will be dry, but you can have a passing shower or thunderstorm. So just keep that in mind. Umbrella, just grab it just in case. The rest of the day today, mostly cloudy skies. And temperatures, guys, lower 60s. The weekend's coming up. Chris Baylor will be in here at 4 p.m. to get you updated.
Update you on that. And, of course, all the latest news coming up at 4 as well. Thank you for being with us for WKYT's News at Noon.
Hope you have a great weekend.